All right, we're out here in Cape Town, Nicholas Radley's stomping ground. We're not in Joburg as per usual, as I usually am. We have Adib here as well, who's joining us today, our Cape Town correspondent. Nick, firstly, I want to ask you, how's things been going since I last saw you?
Yeah, it's been tough, obviously, with COVID. I feel like it's hit everyone. So it's just how it is now, I guess, like a new way of life. But throwing myself into my gym now and trying to make the most of that now.
First and foremost, what's on your mind? What do you want to do next? It's been about a year since you last fought. What's sort of next for you?
It's been a year. I've been thinking about it a lot. My last fight. Next, look, my gym is most important now. I'm definitely looking at defending my title one more time at least. So I'm hoping that there will be somebody ranked that we can take on or that can challenge for the title. And yeah.
You were riding a lot of confidence. You were undefeated before your last fight against Orient Campbell. I know obviously maybe as a sour topic to talk about, but as a first loss in professional boxing, how do you feel coming on now about that fight?
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, I had the time to think about it now and process everything, figure out where we went wrong. I feel like moving to Joburg for the 3 weeks was maybe not the best idea. I could have maybe been mentally tougher to get into that fight. I feel like my mental state is what let me down. Physically, I was in the best shape I've ever been in. Mentally, maybe not so much. Lots of things happened. I'm not going to make excuses. Rowan was better than me on the night, and kudos to him and good for him. And I mean, I would love to avenge that loss, but I know that that's not going to be a possibility. He's looking over and beyond now, and I just wish him all the best, and we'll see what's in store for me next.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Obviously, you've sparred with Reno Liebenberg before. You sparred with a lot of guys, but you sparred with, and you've been in the ring with Rowan Campbell. When it comes to that fight, how would you break it down? Who would you pick as a winner?
Sure, that's a tough one. The fact that I wasn't in my best mental state for the Rowan fight, I mean, I know what he's capable of, obviously, everyone knows that. I've sparred with Reno, I think, on 4 separate occasions when I was unfit, when I was fit. So I feel like if I had to be honest, I'd have to say Reno, and not in a biased sense as in Rowan beat me and I'm going to be negative towards him, but I feel like on paper I think it's definitely going to have to do with strategy and game plan, and set up for that fight will definitely play a huge role. I feel like if Rowan can somehow slow down Reno in the early rounds to give him a better chance later on, because we all know Reno starts and finishes almost at the same pace and there's no difference, and he'll just keep coming forward. But Rowan's also young, fit, also a forward-moving fighter. So I think, I would have to give it to Reno. Whether it's stoppage or points, I don't know. I can't say. I know Rowan has been dropped a few times. Younger Batani, I think, was one of them. He obviously recovered 100%, being fit and young. He came back. I think Reno definitely.
Yeah, also they have a common opponent in Alex Kabangu as well, yes. So that's also another guy I could actually go interview and ask about that fight. You spoke about focusing on the gym, the business this side. Let's talk about your fight career. What is going to happen with that now?
Yeah, I think we're going to give it. This was supposed to be my retirement year. I'd called it last year already. I said, cool, after the Rowan fight, we'll do one more year, push it out, and then retire from there. Obviously, now with COVID hitting us, giving us a massive curveball, it's changed the plan. I'm not going to give up and call it quits going on my last fight. I can't do that. I'm too competitive to do that. So I think, we'll give it at least 1, maybe 2 more fights next year, see who there is to challenge. And I feel like as a career building up, I might not, it might not be heading that way anymore, but definitely game to throw down and have and defend my title and possibly retire on a win and as the champion still.
What's your thoughts about Cape Town boxers going to spar in other provinces? Obviously, I mean, it's noted that a couple of the provinces are lacking in sparring and, you have to travel. What would you make for some of the other guys maybe doing the same thing? Yeah,
I think Western Cape's definitely limited to the pool, the sparring pool. Johannesburg opened up my eyes massively on that side of the world. I mean, you can drive for 20 minutes and there's plenty guys to spar with. So obviously a much bigger pool of sparring and quality of sparring. is really, really high level. Having spotted Emily and Patrick, it's opened up my eyes, and I feel like that's why the Joburg boxers are possibly on a level above, just because of the intensity and the way that they can spar and have access to sparring. So I mean, going over from this side is definitely a good idea.
What fights are you looking forward to here in Cape Town? I mean, firstly, are you looking to fight in Cape Town, and what other fights in Cape Town are you looking forward to?
Honestly, it's been a bucket list thing of mine once I started boxing to fight at the Orient.
Oh, okay.
So I would honestly, I know there is one of the guys is ranked in East London, Eastern Cape. So if I could get that fight in East London, I would jump at it just to say that I've had the opportunity to fight. Now I know it wouldn't be ideal having my one big send-off or possibly another one, having that send-off in another province, but to get an opportunity to fight in the Orient is very rare. So if that does come about, I'll definitely jump at that. Fighting in Cape Town, home crowd, my students, my friends, family would just obviously be the cherry on top. So if I could do that as well, we'll jump at that.
And amongst the other fighters, I know there has been fights that have been cancelled. Is there any other Cape Townian boxers that you particularly like watching?
Sure. Look, Tian's on the way up now. Also been a friend for a while now. I see he's fighting against Josh now, and that's going to be a great fight. So really looking forward to that. Just put me on the spot now. I mean, we'll always support local. I love the guys in Cape Town. They've helped me with sparring and things like that. And so we need events down here. We need strong promoters, and we need Supersport to get involved, or SABC, or whoever, the guys with the money to throw money at the sport on this side. And so we're not just being left behind.
That's very important that the money comes through. Do you want to ask anything, Adib?
With regards to the Baby JK and Abdulaziz Kunut fight, do you have any comments on that?
Sure, that's a tough one. Two good friends, two extremely talented fighters. Baby Jake's obviously slightly more experienced, but I'm not going to say who wins, because either of them would make me happy. Whoever won that fight, I respect and look up to both of them. So
What do you think? What do you think the fight might mean for Cape Town fans?
I feel like it'll mean a lot. It'll get some more titles going in the Western Cape, which obviously has been lacking. Tian's also going to be up now for that, and I think before me, I think Mazonke Fana was the last SA title to be held in Western Cape, and I think that was 10 years plus, if I'm not mistaken. So just to keep it going and to keep the titles in Cape Town would be amazing.
And you obviously saw that freak incident that happened. You were sitting ringside in Cape Town, which went viral all over the internet. I mean, going back to that, I mean, that made Cape Town put a little bit on the map for a little while, didn't it?
Yeah, but in a negative way, I suppose, not so much a positive. It would have been a positive if Tian actually got to fight, pulled off a win, and then kept the title. Got the title in Cape Town. That was an extremely rare thing. I've been involved in martial arts and combat sports in the rings for 16, 17 years now, from Muay Thai to kickboxing, boxing, and I've never ever seen that happen. Whether it was just a malfunction of equipment, something that wasn't checked properly, or manpower, or human error, I don't know. So I don't think I've even seen a report come back on that to say what exactly it was.
If I had to put you on the spot, who do you think would have won that day?
I think Tian. I think Tian was in a good headspace for that fight, and I know he prepared really well for that. I think he had his home crowd here. That place was filled out, and I think it would have been electric. So definitely gonna have to say Tian.
For people that want to become your students, that want to join up with your gym, what do they have to do?
Thaiholics.com. We're a Muay Thai based gym. We obviously offer boxing as well. Thaiholics.com, or our Facebook page as well.
And just lastly, if you could give a shout out to all your people that watch you, all your fans, anyone out there.
Just thanks to everyone for the support. I appreciate everything, all my sponsors. I'm very grateful. And we're going to have one or two more send-offs. It's going to be great.
Thank you very much for having us today.
You're welcome.